Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about Dice Tower East. That's right, Dice Tower East 2027 is happening next year, obviously. Um, but this year's Dice Tower East happened almost a month ago at this point, so I'm kind of late. This video is just gonna be about things to know before you go. You know, this could be for people who have went before, people who haven't went. It's mostly for people who haven't been to Dice Tower East before. But this is just like a bunch of just random stuff that I think you should know before you go. Thing you should know number one. Um, Bring a sweatshirt. Bring a blanket, sweatshirt, wear a couple of shirts, wear a shirt, undershirt, wear three shirts. Wear three, wear a long sleeve shirt and two short sleeve shirts under that one. It's cold in the convention hall there. It's really hot when you're outside. You open the doors to go inside. It's cold. So, if you're, if you don't want that, to be bothering you the whole time, just bring a sweatshirt at least. Okay, thing to know number two. Don't be afraid to join someone else's game or set up your own and have other people join. There's gonna be green meeples and yellow meeples at this one table in the corner of the main gaming hall that you could take. And the green ones means that you're looking for players, and the yellow ones mean that you're looking for teachers. So you just set it up at the table they are at, and then just wait for the players slash teachers to come to your table. Hopefully, maybe they won't. Usually they will. Maybe they won't. Most of the time, I'm not trying to say nobody's gonna come to your table if you set up your own game at a table. People will. People usually will come to your table if you set up a game there. And you have a green meeple out, or if you have a yellow meeple out for a teacher. Don't worry, people aren't gonna absolutely just desert you there most of the time. So yeah, if there's a game that you want to play and it's not on any of the tables that are looking for players, you can just grab a game from the library. You can set it up, or you can start to set it up, grab a green meeple, put it on their table as you're setting it up, and just wait for people to come in. And if you need a teacher for that game, grab a yellow one as well. Now, these first two things to know are definitely for people who have not went before. These are very important things, I think. But when you're looking for other tables, you're looking for green meeples, obviously, when they're looking for players. So what I like to do is I like to just walk around and see what games are up with the tables of the green meeples. And then I just join them. I just join whichever game I think is most interesting to me at the time. But obviously you could just join the first game that you see. You do you. Thing to know number three. There's a lot of stuff going on. So there's stuff like top 10 panels going on. Like one or two of them throughout the whole convention held by the Dice Tower crew. And there's some other official ones. Maybe there's like Wits and Wagers, which Tom hosts. A family meetup, like a newcomers meetup. So if you're new, you can come see other newcomers and maybe make some friends like right at that meetup. I didn't do that. It was my first time last year. I didn't do that. I just hopped straight into some games. And I did fine. There's a whole bunch of events going on. Every day there's a few events going on, but overall, there's a bunch of stuff that you can do besides just playing games. There's also a room for quiet gaming, so if you want a quieter room to game in, you can go over there. And there's a paint and take room, which you can paint your own miniatures and take them home with you. There's also social gaming room. I'm not sure if there's like one or two of them, but those are for like bigger larger social games that people can like yell at the top of their lungs. Stuff like Blood on the Clock Tower. That's probably the only like large social game I've seen in that room so far. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on throughout the convention. Thing to know number four. There is a virtual flea market. There's also a regular flea market that's there, but there's a virtual flea market. And this virtual flea market happens 3 months in advance. Yeah, 3 months before the convention even starts. People are listing games on the website. This year, they went to a new website. They did it on BGG before, but this new website made it a lot more convenient to buy stuff and list stuff. It was really good. It was really efficient. But basically, you would put in an offer, or you would just buy the game now and then you would pick it up later at the convention on a certain day. Or you can pick up some of your games like before the actual meetup or after the actual meetup. But I don't know if you saw the first video that I posted on this channel of all the games I got. It was my first time doing the virtual flea market. There was so many good deals. I'm not kidding, like 10, 20, $30 off. And I'm pretty sure I saved like like $100 or so on the Marvel Champions lot that I bought. Just absolutely crazy deals. I just kept buying stuff and kept buying stuff. But the actual virtual fleet up, oh my fleet up, the actual virtual meetup, the actual virtual flea market meetup is messy. So apparently, people online, they said it was the best it's ever been. And if that's the best that's ever been, I can't even imagine what it was like before it was this good. Because there's a whole bunch of people standing at tables with games and just people just standing without tables with games, waiting for people to pick up their games. And I was literally just going to like table. There was so many people walking around and like people going in waves and stuff depending on how many games you got. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like to find this person. Like you get a route. Like it tells you what tables you should go to in order. I was just trying to follow that. Yeah, it was a lot. So if you do buy stuff from virtual flea market, just know it's going to be messy at that actual meetup. It wasn't an absolutely like horrible experience. It's just really busy in that room, and when you get a whole bunch of stuff, it takes a while to get all that stuff. Navigating through all the people and trying to find all the tables that the sellers that you're getting the games from are at. And then there's a Dice Tower flea market, which people line up hours before it actually starts. And this is stuff that like the Dice Tower reviewed, but they're not keeping. Maybe they're just stuff that they had for a while in the library that they're just getting rid of. Or, you know, it's just stuff in their personal collection. I don't even know. That's just going on tables and stuff in there. And people are let in this one room, and they're all kind of discounted. And then when a certain amount of people go through, they put like some kind of discount on it. And then when a certain amount of people go through again, then they put an even bigger discount on it. Like I think they do like buy one, get one the second time around. And then they do like buy one, get two the second time around. I don't know, something like that. So many people lined up for this. Like if you go like an hour before, there's already a big line for this flea market. Last year I've gotten some stuff from there, and they aren't bad games, but safe to say I got the leftovers. It's just one of those things that to me it's not that worth it to stay that long, but if you want to, it might be worth it, because I've seen videos of what they put in there, and there's some pretty cool stuff in there. So if you really wanted to, you could stay there for that long until it actually starts and try to be one of the first people in there. I'm not one of those people, but if you are, now you know. Tip number 5, if you want to save on your money, bring food. I mean, I know this is pretty obvious, but the hotel convention hall that this has been taking place in last year and this year was the Caribe Royale, and they bring out food at around lunchtime, but it's expensive. So if you book a hotel like nearby, or if you live not too far away, just like bring your own food. It is nice and convenient that they do have food there. And yeah, not too much to say about that. Thing to know number 6. There's a lot of games in the Dice Tower library, and a lot of them are deluxeified. So there's over 2,000 games in that library that they take to Dice Tower East. It's crazy the amount of games that they have. They have so many card games, so many board games. They have huge boxes of like some games. They have huge collections of some games that they just put in one box. So if you're crazy enough, you would like, I don't know, just play with that. Like for example, if you know the game HeroScape, I have a set right here, but this is only one set. There's a lot of HeroScape sets, and they have a box there, just a giant wooden crate, I think it was, with so many of these figures and so many of these landscape tiles, and I haven't even seen what's in there, and I can that's my guess. That's that's just my guess what's in there. It's this huge wooden box just filled with a whole bunch of stuff. But that's what I'm saying. They have a lot. You might even take out a game and there might be a sticker in the bottom corner of the box that says look for this playmat, and then you can go and grab the playmat for it and set it up at the table. And because they have a table for it, things feel better. Like the cards feel better on the playmat stuff. I love having this playmat here because the cards just feel good on it. And then there's things like upgraded tokens, cardboard to metal, or like cardboard to acrylic player pieces, or what have you. So they have a very nice collection of upgraded stuff and a lot of not upgraded stuff, but still a lot of cool games in their library. Things to know, number 7. So, of course, this is held by the Dice Tower crew. You can meet the Dice Tower crew there. Going to an earlier number, I forgot which one it is. There's a lot of things to do, but one of them is the Dice Tower meetup. You can meet up with the crew. They're all standing there in the main, I don't know, like central hub where you go to check in to get your badge. And this happens for like an hour or so. There's a bunch of people there, and they're just waiting to talk to the Dice Tower people. You have a nice conversation with them, maybe take a picture with them. You can even have them all sign something for you, which I haven't done, but that would be pretty cool to do. They're all very nice people, so don't be afraid to go up and talk to them. Last year when I was talking to some of them, it literally did not feel real because I've seen so many Dice Tower videos before going there. It didn't feel real. I don't know when I don't know how to explain it. I was just like talking. I was looking at them. I was like, oh my gosh, they're real. They're real. they're not like they're not right here. They're right there. And throughout the convention, they're pretty busy, actually running the convention. But if you see them, you can say hi. Things to know, number 8. Adding on to a whole bunch of stuff that's going on there is a Hawk Games room. And those are filled with tens, maybe like, I think there was like 40 this year, of different like hot, new, and popular games that just recently came out. Yeah, so this is a great way to try out newer games that have just come out, or are just like really popular games that maybe you just wanted to try, you've seen online and you wanted to try it. They probably have it there. Like for example, they had Wonderland's War Duel, I think it's called. They had Thunder Road Vendetta Ignition, I think that's what it's called. They had Eternal Decks, which looks really cool. But like 36, 37 other games that I haven't mentioned because I don't know on the top of my head. But you get the gist of it. There's a whole bunch of games in the Hot Games room that have just released and they're really popular, and you could try them out right in that room. And everything's already set up there. When you finish a game, you set it right back up for the next people. And so when you go through a table, you could just learn how to play it right there as it's set up, instead of having to go to like a shelf and pick the game and take out the box and everything. It's all right there. And then thing to know, number 9. Right next to the Hot Games room is the exhibit hall, which closes earlier than the Hot Games room. But the exhibit hall is like the main shopping area. You could see a bunch of different booths from like different publishers and people who make accessories for board games and stuff. It's cool. It's cool to see all that stuff. It's cool to see what new games are at these booths, and just seeing all the games, really. There was some booths that were doing like mystery boxes, and like some of the mystery boxes had like some crazy stuff in it. They always have like stuff like that. Publishers like All Play, Arcane Wonders, Level 99, Capstone Games, they all had booths there. And yeah, it's just fun to stroll around, see what's around, and spend a couple more bucks than you thought you would walking into that room. Thing to know, number 10. I'm going to go above 10. 10 is a good number, but I know I'm going to go above 10. So if you go alone, it's okay. You're gonna meet a whole bunch of people. You're gonna have fun anyways. You don't need to go with other people if you don't have any other people to go with. It's fine to go alone because you can meet a whole bunch of people. It's a great way to meet people. This is a convention that mostly focuses on playing games rather than buying games like at Gen Con. Dice Tower East, it's mainly like playing games. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is like you're mostly buying games at Gen Con, you're mostly playing games at Dice Tower East. Because there's like so many booths at Gen Con. There is a bunch of booths at Dice Tower East, but obviously not as much as Gen Con. People do play games at Gen Con, but mostly it's because of the demos that are already set up on the booths. And if they're at the open gaming areas, they're usually not like looking for players to come in. Like they already go with the gaming group and they're already playing a game. But Dice Tower East, people set up games and then they look for people to come to the tables most of the time. But yeah, don't feel discouraged if you come alone because there's a whole bunch of things to do and there's a whole bunch of cool people to meet. It's not like everybody's going to be absolutely closed off the whole time. If you're open to meeting new people, to meeting other people, then you will meet other people because that's just how Dice Tower East works. Number 11. So there are no one-day passes. This was something brought up in the Q&A live stream this year, and they've probably been asked this a bunch, and they definitely been asked this a bunch of times before, like, why is there no one-day pass? I guess it's because it's like a logistical nightmare. This is what they said. It's a logistical nightmare to keep track of, and if they implement it, they can't really take it away because everybody's going to be mad, understandably. I mean, I guess it would make sense, if you're trying to keep track of all of the one-day passes as well as like the people that are going the full time. I don't know, but that's what they said. No one-day passes because it's just a logistical nightmare to keep track of. And I thought I would mention that because there's probably a whole bunch of people asking why that's not a thing, and they still don't know the reason why. Thing to know number 12. There we go.
You will never find me. You will never find me. You will find me in the darkest corners, in the darkest room.
Okay, moving on. Okay, and the last thing to know is to just have fun. You're just going there to have a good time. So, I don't know, make a list of all the games that you want to play. You can do that, or you can just go with the flow. Just meet some new people, play some new games, play old games that you want to play games that you haven't played in a long time, play big games that you don't usually play at home, or maybe at your weekly gaming group or whatever that you can only play at a convention. Play that game that everybody said no to, and just force new people to play it. I don't know. Just have fun. That's all I got for you folks today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And hopefully you enjoyed. Because namaste. What the heck am I doing? Okay, that's all I got for today. Goodbye.